it. I just kind of like to pay attention to the truth. When that time manifests, then, we'll speak about this, hopefully when that time comes.
It's the kind of drama that makes you wonder what's really going on behind closed doors. Those stories about Busta and Diddy getting close, with all the talk of baby oil and late-night meetups, have been swirling for years. It's not just about a possible secret relationship. This is about the way the music industry operates, the secrets that keep it spinning, and the image games that big-name stars play. People have always speculated about why certain artists go out of their way to appear hyper-masculine, and now Busta finds himself under that very spotlight. And that's not all. This new wave of gossip is reigniting the old whispers, the ones that have been quietly making the rounds at industry parties and late-night recording sessions. Back then, it was just an open secret, the kind of thing that insiders would laugh off as nothing more than idle chatter. But now, with his baby mama speaking out, the stakes are higher and the rumors harder to ignore. The question isn't just whether these stories are true, it's what happens if they are. Could it lead to a reshaping of how people view one of hip-hop's most formidable voices? Could it even change the way artists in the industry handle their public personas? It's clear that whatever comes next, this story has already planted a seed of doubt in fans and critics alike. People who once saw Busta Rhymes as untouchable are now questioning everything they thought they knew. And with more details potentially coming to light, this saga might just become one of the most talked about in hip-hop history. Busta met Joanne Wood back in their high school days, and honestly, you couldn't find a more unlikely pair. Joanne was quiet, sweet, and came from a solid middle-class family. In stark contrast, Busta was already walking a different kind of path, hungry, wild, and deeply immersed in the underground rap scene. He was that driven Brooklyn kid, hustling his way into the music world while also repping the 5% Nation, a crew with its own unique vibe. Joanne, meanwhile, was just a regular girl, completely unaware of the whirlwind she was stepping into. Despite their differences, they dived into a relationship. Before long, they found themselves sharing a home, but the harmony didn't last. According to Joanne, their relationship was strained from the start. She later opened up to the New York Post, describing a dynamic that was rocky at best. Their worlds weren't just different, they were downright clashing. Arguments erupted over everything: the toilet seat, the toothpaste cap, you name it. These seemingly minor disagreements spiraled into full-blown battles, exposing deep divides. Joanne saw both sides of Busta. On one hand, she described him as a classic Taurus, arrogant, headstrong, and always quick to point out a problem. On the other hand, there was a softer, gentler side that would peek through every now and then. That complexity only added to the tension in their home, which was bursting at the seams not only with personal issues, but also with Busta's rising career pressures. By the early 90s, Busta was making serious moves in the music scene. His group, Leaders of the New School, gained traction, but their eventual split in 1993 marked a turning point. As he ventured into his solo career, Busta began dominating the rap game. However, behind the scenes, Joanne and Busta faced unimaginable heartbreak. Joanne went into labor prematurely, delivering a baby boy who tragically passed away just hours after birth. It was a devastating moment that added yet another layer of pain to their already challenging relationship. Despite their struggles, they pressed on. In 1994, they welcomed their son Tiziah into the world, marking a new chapter for the young couple. At the same time, Busta's career reached new heights. He launched his own label, Flip Mode Records, under Elektra, and his albums started flying off the shelves. His hustle was undeniable, but the tension at home remained. Even as Busta's fame skyrocketed, Joanne chose to stay out of the spotlight. While he was jetting off to perform at shows and live the high life, she kept it low-key at home, raising their son and holding down the fort. But let's be clear, her staying back wasn't about being shy or avoiding attention. Their relationship was already on shaky ground, and before long, everything began to unravel. By 1997, the drama hit new heights. A gossip site claimed that Joanne had walked in on Busta with another woman and a baby, in their own bed. The betrayal sent her over the edge. According to sources, she trashed his car, ripped out several of his dreads, and unleashed her fury. It was the kind of explosive confrontation most people wouldn't come back from. But these two? They kept going, trapped in a cycle of toxic on and off drama. Joanne later revealed that Busta proposed to her not once, but 3 separate times. And every time, she said yes. Yet each engagement ended the same way, with no wedding, no follow-through, and no resolution. Despite the rocky relationship and mounting suspicions about Busta's loyalty, Joanne never fully aired out all the details. While she didn't claim to know for sure what Busta was up to with other women, she hinted that she wasn't naive about the situation. Her words carried a weight of unspoken truth, leaving people close to them wondering if she had always suspected something deeper about Busta's personal life. Through all the ups and downs, Joanne and Busta stayed connected. They welcomed 2 more sons, Tiki and Trillian, into their complicated family dynamic. And though the rumors never stopped swirling, Joanne chose to stay relatively quiet, focusing on her children instead of the circus surrounding Busta's public image. As Joanne stayed behind the scenes, focusing on her kids and keeping the family grounded, Busta was out doing his thing, and by that point, the cheating wasn't even a secret anymore. In 1999, it all came to light when a paternity case confirmed him as the father of a baby girl, Mariah. Mariah's mother, Jill, known as Miss Kelly, had taken him to court for child support, and that was just the beginning. That same year, another woman, Rhonda, gave birth to Busta's second daughter, Casey. By now, Joanne had reached her limit. After years of betrayal, she finally made the decision to walk away from the chaos. But Busta wasn't about to let her go without a fight. The breakup quickly escalated into a brutal custody battle, with both sides hurling accusations. Here was Busta, always on the road, juggling multiple baby mamas and facing mounting child support issues, now arguing that he should have full custody of the 3 kids he shared with Joanne. His reasoning? He claimed that Joanne's personal life, specifically her relationship with a woman, was somehow harmful to the children. That was his entire case. There were no allegations of abuse, neglect, or any real danger, just his disapproval of her new relationship. He even tried to bolster his argument by claiming one of their sons had walked into Joanne's bedroom and witnessed her with her girlfriend. But Joanne's lawyer hit back hard, asking a simple but powerful question. Where else is she supposed to be with her partner, if not in her own bedroom? The court, however, saw things differently. Despite the lack of any serious allegations against Joanne, they sided with Busta. He was granted full custody, leaving Joanne with only limited visitation rights, just twice a week and every other weekend. Here's the most baffling twist. Even after securing full custody, Busta wasn't the one actually raising the kids. With his demanding touring schedule and constant chase for fame, he sent the children to live with his mother in New York. It was a head-scratching move that made people wonder if the custody battle was ever really about the kids. To Joanne, it seemed more like a personal vendetta. She felt that Busta's real motive wasn't to be a full-time parent, it was to punish her for leaving and embracing her truth with a woman. The whole ordeal felt like a power play, and she didn't hold back when calling it out. Why fight tooth and nail for custody, only to leave the children in someone else's care? For Joanne, it was clear that this wasn't about co-parenting or family. This was about ego. She told him straight up, "You're not hurting me, you're hurting the kids." The situation only got uglier. According to Joanne, Busta's mother wasn't just helping raise the kids, she was turning them against their own mom. Joanne claimed that her kids could repeat their grandmother's insults word for word. "She called me a gold digger, money hungry, a lesbian, bah! You name it," Joanne said. "She called me worthless, every name under the sun." The damage was undeniable. The kids were old enough to hear it, understand it, and even repeat it. It left a lasting scar on the family's already fractured dynamic, making it even harder to move forward. While promoting his 7th album, The Big Bang, Busta didn't hold back from throwing public shade at Joanne. During a New York radio interview, he declared, "No more child support checks for you, worthless baby mother." The audacity of publicly attacking the mother of his kids like that, even for Busta, it felt like a new low. At that point, Joanne had had enough. After enduring years of insults and mudslinging, she was ready to fire back. And this time, She wasn't pulling any punches. Joanne reportedly had receipts, solid evidence about what was really going on behind closed doors. She was tired of staying quiet, especially when it came to Busta's alleged private life. Rumors had long swirled about Busta's personal preferences. Whispers of his connections with young, up-and-coming male artists in the industry had been around for years. It was one of those open secrets that insiders hinted at but never fully addressed. Even talk show host Wendy Williams tried to expose the truth in the past. But whenever she poked too hard, Busta would swiftly shut her down. Now, though, Joanne was ready to let it all out, and people were finally starting to listen. The industry's culture of secrecy, particularly around high-profile men maintaining tough guy images while living very different private lives, was beginning to crack. Wendy Williams, one of the rare personalities unafraid to challenge that facade, had paved the way by previously taking shots at Diddy. But when she tried to bring the truth to light, it was Busta who slammed the door on her attempts. Busta didn't just deny the rumors, he went all out in an effort to crush them. According to reports, he made phone calls, tried to get Wendy fired, and nearly destroyed her career just for speaking out. But Wendy, she stood her ground. She always believed Busta was part of that same elusive down-low scene, moving quietly behind the curtains with other industry heavyweights like Diddy. Fast forward a few years, and the whispers turned into full-blown allegations. More men started coming forward with their own stories about Busta's private lifestyle. And no, this wasn't just about late-night parties or VIP sections. Some of these claims were much more intimate and scandalous. Among the most shocking accusations came from actor Orlando Brown. Now Orlando Brown has a reputation for saying outrageous things, so at first glance, many dismissed his comments. But when he went viral a few years back, naming names and spilling industry secrets, the buzz couldn't be ignored. He included both Diddy and Busta Rhymes in a long list of celebrities he claimed to have hooked up with. Some brushed it off as the ramblings of a troubled star, but others believed Orlando was deliberate in what he revealed, leaking just enough to avoid retaliation from the powerful figures he mentioned. Then there's Busta's former bodyguard, who really let loose. Known as Big Homie CC, he didn't mince words. He described Busta as a super zest monster, claiming that every club Busta visited knew exactly how to please him. According to the bodyguard, if a venue wanted Busta to spend big, all they had to do was fill his VIP section with the most attractive men in the room. Big Homie CC didn't stop there. He shared a story about a night when a model friend and a clean-cut lawyer were at the same club as Busta. As soon as Busta spotted the lawyer, it was game over. He couldn't hide his interest. Big Homie described Busta as downright thirsting over the guy, practically begging him to join the VIP section. And he didn't let up until the lawyer gave in. Once the lawyer came over, Busta kept him close, making sure he stayed by his side all night. But Big Homie pointed out something intriguing. Whenever female fans show love or excitement, Busta tends to lose his cool. He snaps, rolls his eyes, and acts annoyed over things like selfies or fans getting too hyped. Yet, when it's an attractive man giving him attention, his attitude flips. He becomes welcoming, even enthusiastic. It's hard to ignore the pattern. Over the years, plenty of fans have seen this side of Busta, the one that lashes out at women for the smallest things. A fan asks for a picture? He's irritated. Someone screams his name at a show? He looks ready to leave. The contrast is striking, and it's led to a lot of side eyes from people who wonder if he's just not that into women, despite his public image. And then there's the story from YouTuber Tripper, which adds even more spice. Tripper claims he ran into Busta after a Halloween party, just him and a friend hanging out. The moment Busta saw Tripper, he allegedly turned on the charm, grabbing Tripper's hand, locking eyes, and asking if he wanted to party in his VIP section. At first, Tripper was thrilled. Who wouldn't be excited if their favorite rapper invited them to hang out? But according to Tripper, the vibe shifted quickly, leaving him feeling unsettled. According to Tripper, the only reason the night didn't spiral was because his friend wasn't feeling it and dragged him away. Otherwise, who knows what Busta had planned once he got them into that booth? But it didn't stop there. Rumors swirled that Busta was seen around 4 a.m. in a well-known gay neighborhood, accompanied by a trans model. The two were reportedly returning from a Pride event, looking comfortable and close, like a genuine couple. Fans were stunned, but those whispers had been going around for years. Many said Busta wasn't just passing through, he moved like someone who knew exactly where he felt at home. This wasn't a one-time occurrence, it was part of a pattern. And that's not even the wildest part. A number of his exes have reportedly said that Busta, despite his tough alpha male persona, isn't exactly impressive when it comes to satisfying women. The way they tell it, his bedroom game is quiet. No excitement, no passion, just awkward silence and confusion. In her tell-all book, Confessions of a Video Vixen, Karine Steffens pulled no punches. She wrote that while Busta may be well endowed, he doesn't know what to do with it. Her words, "all that meat and no heat," paint a striking contrast to the macho image he projects on stage. It doesn't help that Busta has made plenty of public homophobic remarks over the years. For example, back in 2006, after a fan tapped him on the shoulder to say congratulations, Busta allegedly flew into a rage, yelling slurs and claiming to hate fags, according to reports in the New York Post. Then in 2007, when asked about homophobia in hip-hop, Busta blamed it on cultural beliefs. When pressed on whether the genre would ever embrace a gay rapper, he walked out of the interview instead of answering. These moments add to the speculation and leave many wondering, why the extreme reactions? Is it deflection? Denial? Overcompensation? With artists like Lil Nas X living openly, Busta's old-school machismo and hostile remarks seem increasingly out of step. So what's the truth? Is Busta Rhymes hiding a double life? Are the long-standing whispers about his connection to Diddy's infamous freak-off parties more than just gossip? Share your thoughts below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Hit that bell so you never miss the next drop of tea. See you in the next one.